And there we go. We are now live. So yeah, we're live,
yeah.
so we can start talking, and it'll show up on YouTube in a few minutes. Not a few minutes; it's about 30-second delay. So we just need to make sure that the YouTube screen is working and we get to see the chat. But otherwise, we're all ready to go. Hooray! So it looks like we've got Ryan in the chat. Ryan, can you hear us? Are we happening? Maybe not.
Yeah. Is this real?
Is this real? Well, maybe not making sense, but as long as you can hear us, hopefully that's fine. I guess we'll find out.
Maybe not.
Oh, Peter's here. Hey. Hi.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So apparently everybody can hear us. All right. Okay.
Sense is overrated. Josh Potter is here. Ahoy. Peter can hear and see us. And Jeff says, "LOL." Indeed. So hopefully we should be all good this week. We appear to be on the right channel. The little circle up here, spot on. This privacy setting is public. Yes.
Yeah. Look at that. It only took us like three or four episodes to be on at 7 and have everything working and be like, it's all good.
It's great. I'm pretty excited. Chris is here. Hey, Chris. Oh, right. But can we taste them? You can imagine. It's been fairly warm here today.
That's later.
That's later. Okay.
That costs extra.
Okay, that's the OnlyFans version.
It's the OnlyFans stream that we have going on at the same time. All right, so we got a couple things we want to get into today. The first one, obviously, is Dave's going to give us a recap of all the cool stuff that he saw at Historicon.
Indeed.
Which was he just got back from? When did you get back? Monday or Sunday?
Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. Okay. So I went up on Thursday morning. Came back Sunday afternoon. Yes.
Okay.
And I'm this close, and by this close I mean I'm about 1,000 words away from finishing the article for War Games Illustrated about the convention. So.
Okay.
Yep. All good. But yes, we will talk about that soon.
How big? Remind me again. How big is Historicon compared to like some of the other shows?
It has fluctuated over the years. There was a time when it was up around the 4,500 mark. But post-pandemic, it was probably around 2,400.
Okay.
So I think it was a little bit quieter than they would have liked, but we'll get into that when we talk a bit more about it. But yes, definitely good. Oh, cool.
So what was some of the cool stuff you saw at Historicon?
Oh no, let's talk about that later.
What do we want to do first?
Well, first up, we were going to talk about the things that you wanted to talk about. Well, actually, should we first up show? Well, actually, the first thing I'm going to say is on screen, just below me down there, is a super cool tank, which is converted by Jeff Wilhelm, converted and painted by Jeff Wilhelm, who is the owner of Dragonforge Design. So, it's the place where I get all my wonderful bases. My resin bases. Jeff's been hobbying, building stuff for many years, and has a big passion for converting tanks. So yeah, this one, I think he commented on the post. He was he liked the sort of the Char 2C aesthetic. So the Char was a French tank, early World War II French tank, which had that longer, chunkier sort of look with a small turret at the front. But Jeff has definitely taken some cues here from the T-35, which was kind of a Soviet land ship, which had, I think it had 5 turrets. Like, with the main turret probably operated by 2 people, the other turrets were machine gun turrets operated by individuals. So you had to stand there in your turret, manually move it around, probably, being a Soviet tank. But yeah, this one's kind of crazy. We'll have a closer look at it later as well, along with all the other cool things that that folks have thrown in the Facebook group. So we'll take a look at that. But
the thing, it definitely is like that is a land battleship. That thing is absurd. I love it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Peter says interwar tank design is so fun. Totally. When they're not 100% sure what's going to happen next. Scott says, don't forget, Jeff is the only ever Slayer plaque winner. He won the sword the year after a dude chopped his finger off with off or something, so they gave him a plaque. And Chris says, Jeff raided my bits box at the beginning of the recent plague. Nice. Must have been to build some of these. We've got a few tanks from, or a few vehicles from Jeff to show. So, yep, we'll just switch over now to the what I call the big panel, and we'll get to see. I think the first thing we've got up there is Jake's converted Praetor.
Oh yeah, a week late. Sorry, guys.
So there we go. We have the converted Praetor up now, which is I think it's worth the wait, honestly.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Is this
he was fun.
Is this which one's this? Is this sword guy or chunky guy? I can't
That's
tell
chunky.
This is
That's chunky guy.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of like this one. Yeah, he is kind of built like a tank. There's a lot of weird bits that I use in this guy. So I wanted to have all my assault dudes be. I'm running a loyalist Iron Warriors force, and I didn't really want to have them have assault guys. So because I can ally with World Eaters and not really lose anything, I was going to run like a very small World Eaters like support force. Right. So he's basically the chonky guy, and then his arms are the newer plastic raptor talons, but they're the all blade hands, which I wanted because they look like the cataphracti hands.
Right.
And then, but they're the right size for the shoulders and stuff.
Yep.
And then I shaved off the studs on his like belly plate because I'm gonna green stuff that smooth, and then I'm gonna put the War Hounds logo there because I'm running him as loyalists, so they're gonna be War Hounds, which is basically just an inverted World Eaters paint scheme. And then the shoulder pads are from plastic Chaos Knights, like not the new one, but the previous one.
Okay.
And then the Paterges I think are from. I think that's from a random Chaos model I had. So I snipped it so it would fit in there because I wanted to cover up where that big holster is.
The big gun goes. Yep.
Yeah, so I shaved that down flat and then filed it away and then put that on it to just cover it. And it actually looks really nice. From the side, it's nice and flush too. Yep. And then the backpack is the old metal Raptors pack from the old like flat-headed bird feet like skinny Raptors, the first metal ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love those backpacks. I still had a handful left in my bits box from when we used to be able to buy bits in metal from HQ. So I was like, yes, I have one left. So I used that. Nice. I pinned him because it's so heavy. But yeah, I like him. I had him a little more Christmas tree-ish, and Dave saw that one. I put like wings on his backpack and had a big iron halo, but he's a little too much. So I was like, oh, okay, now he looks like he's just there to like. He just superhero landed. He's about to murder a bunch of fools.
Yeah, he's definitely about to do that, without a doubt. No, with the wings on there at the top of the backpack, and he had a iron halo kind of thing across the top too. He looked very. He could have been very Blood Angel.
It's because I played Blood Angels for so long. I was like, it's hard to get out of that mindset.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
But he's fun. He's got really cool rules too. Like the rules for the World Eaters will be super fun. So I was going to run him and then run a chaplain with a jump pack and then run 10 Ravagers with jump packs,
Okay.
and basically have them be like a rapid response force. But I technically I don't think I can do that because I only get 1 HQ for an allied detachment, so it's just going to be. Ben made the point that I should just build the Iron Warriors out of what's in the box and play them at 2,000 points, and then when they start releasing the new stuff like all the actual Horus Heresy Assault dudes,
Right.
then I might come back and revisit this and use him. But he was super fun to build.
Cool. Yeah. No, I think that's a good idea. But yeah, he looks great. I'm excited to see him painted.
Thank you. I appreciate it. He was, like I said, he was fun. The shoulder pads were a little fiddly. I had to like file them so they would fit in between like his weird like chest chainmail and like the Raptor pack.
Yep.
Because it's much closer on his shoulders than the regular power pack is.
Yep.
But
no, that's cool.
Thanks, man.
He looks neat.
He was fun.
Excellent.
He looks heavy.
He does look heavy. It does look like that jump pack may not get him too far off the ground.
right.
His feet are going to drag as he scrapes forward. No, he looks great. Cool. And then the next pick that I'm going to bring up is this crazy DM screen that you were telling me about.
Oh, yeah.
So let's bring that up. Okay, tell me some more about this.
So, I'm on a delay, so I don't know which one's up. Oh, okay.
The big DM screen, man. Yeah.
So Dragon Shield made these, and like again, we talked last week. I'm a huge D&D guy. Dave, not so much. But I think this is really cool, and you could use it for anything. So the DM one obviously unfolds like this, and the whole like casement cover is like your DM screen. You can also put stuff in there, like there's the thing on the left that has like an area where you can mark on it with dry erase or wet erase, and then there's a thing that actually holds your tablet. So you like if you're using a lot of digital stuff, you can have your tablet there. There's a thing that holds your phone. There's a notepad. There's your maps, and you can kind of put whatever you want. And then up the top, there's slots where you can put like spellbook cards and initiative trackers, so your players can see the initiative. And then the box, the whole thing wraps around the box, and then the box apparently you can take out the foam trays. It has 6 little foam trays, and then underneath it holds. I think it holds 2 rule books or 3 rule books. I think it's 2. But you can basically put them underneath, and you can take everything with you. The whole thing snaps together. I just thought it was super cool. The player one might actually be better for like cross gaming. Like this is very RPG focused with the DM screen and everything. But the second one, let me know when you flip to the second.
I actually didn't load that picture. Sorry.
Okay. So it's all good. So the other, so this is called the GM Companion, I think, or the DM Companion.
Yep.
What are they calling this?
Probably GM.
Yeah, this is the GM Companion. Yep. So the Player's Companion is the same like width, but it's like a third the height.
Right.
So the top unsnaps, and you can snap it back underneath it, and it turns the whole thing into a dice tray, and then you can fit in 2 rule books. Which again, you could use for if you were playing 40k or whatever. It'd be like your codex, or it'd be like your core rule book, and then there's space in it for it'll hold your tablet if you want to have your tablet stand up in it, and then it'll hold like pens and markers and stuff, and there's space for a couple dice sets, and there's space for like a couple miniatures, like basically be like your character or your character mounted or whatever. I just think it's super cool. Like, and again, if you were playing something like Kill Team or Warcry or something that's small model count, I think you'd be fine. But I also think you could use it for even like Heresy or 40k. Like I said, you put in all your core stuff, like your data cards and your dice and your pencil and your like wound markers and your core rulebook and your codex, and just everything kind of snaps together, and then it turns into a dice tray. I just think it's a super cool thing. Like I'm 100% getting the Players one.
Yeah, no, that is quite neat. Well, I like those sort of packages that you can create where they're just carrying around one box or one box plus a little bit.
It was kind of unexpected. Like Dragon Shield has always made like protective stuff. Like they've always made like sleeves, and they started making deck boxes. So this is the first like role-playing sort of endeavor that they've done.
Okay.
But like their deck boxes are good. They're made well. They're good quality. So I'm excited to see this thing. I just thought they looked super cool, and it was kind of unexpected. So
yeah, well, that's neat. Very cool. Excellent. just quickly, I'm going to say hi to Dave Hummel, who's in the chat. And
hello, Dave Hummel.
Switch us back. This way, when I switch back, it's so I can go through and I can get ready for the next set of images. Telling you, it's crazy. Crazy.
He's not just a pretty face, folks. He's also our behind-the-scenes tech guy.
Yeah.
All right, so
maybe. Sorry, my mind just glitched for a second.
I jinxed it.
You did. Cool. I didn't. I'm only just realizing now I didn't get any images for some stuff that would have been super cool. But yeah, so I didn't get images for 3. If anybody's interested in cool, sort of quirky, grimdark or whimsical independent miniature makers, 3 that have come up in the past week. 2 started today, 2 Kickstarters, and 1 was last week. The one from last week was the Trench Crusade is the name of the campaign. It's by James Sherriff, who is an awesome sculptor. He's on Instagram as Brass Monkey. But Trench Crusade, he's been posting some photos recently. Some what do you call it? Artwork by a guy called, I think, Mike Francina, who is from America. James is over in the UK. But quite a grimdark sort of thing. It's this enormous sort of cyborg sniper with an anti-tank rifle that's about 60 millimeters long.
Yeah, he looks pretty insane.
Yeah. So are you checking it out now?
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So that's the sort of starting miniature of that, and his attendant ammo monk. So it's like a monk walking behind him, carrying his box of ammunition.
Dude, he's like, it's super weird. I love it. Like,
yeah.
He's got like plate mail from the waist down, and then he's got a helmet on, but he doesn't have any armor on his upper body or his arms.
Yeah. That's because it's a cyborg. It's not a. I guess cyborg is you got the organism part, but yeah, it's not a human. But yeah, definitely super cool. But they've crushed a lot of stretch goals. There are a couple of additional free miniatures that are going with that. There are some add-ons to purchase if you're interested. But check that out. Trench Crusade.
They have not crushed their goals. They've slaughtered their goals. That's what it said.
So as through each one, it's like goal slaughtered, goal slaughtered,
yeah, goal slaughtered. Whoa! What the? Yeah,
definitely cool stuff. Another one that launched this morning is from Andrew May of Meridian Miniatures. He's doing season 5 of minis based on art by from Black Crab Art. I did go and look it up. Who was it? Moritz for Krebs does this spectacular sort of grimdark kind of art style. So these are fantasy-based mercenaries this time. It starts off with a set of 9 mercenaries.
What is this Kickstarter called?
It is called Black Crab Miniatures. Season 5. Again, I should have had a picture of them, but I didn't because I'm a terrible person.
We'll let it slide, Dave.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah, these guys are pretty solid. They look like they're very John Blanche.
Right. Yep. Blanchesque.
Yeah, they're Blanchitsu.
Yep. But there's a great range of them. There's like a pig-headed dude. There's a mercenary with missing a leg on a peg leg there. But this is the 5th set of miniatures based on Maurice's art. And Andrew always does fantastic sculpts, great castings, everything's sent very promptly. I've got a stack of boxes just over here, just right underneath my thing, with cool Black Crab miniature art in there, or Black Crab art miniatures. And the final one is the whimsical one that I mentioned. Andrew Ray from Statuesque Miniatures has done Left at the Bottom of the Garden. So Left at the Bottom of the Garden is the name of the Kickstarter. And this is Chapter 3. But, yeah, Andrew's original idea, he's just sort of continued it on, was toys that have been left at the bottom of the garden and have come to life. And they're all sort of stitched together cloth toys. So it's a very stylized kind of look, but quite whimsical. And, yeah, these ones have got some wolves, some kind of baby wolves, and some will-o'-the-wisps. But,
yeah, those are cool. They're definitely. I think those would be really cool, like board game pieces.
Oh yeah, that'd be fantastic in a lot of things, without doubt. But I think that'd be great in role playing as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, and throughout, if you go and check that one out, you'll get to see the all the previous sets as well, I think.
Yeah, he's got them all listed.
Yep. But Statuesque Minis do, again, fantastic work. Great stuff, which is really cool.
Another one I would say, if people want to get some like really cool minis, and like it's just, I'm a big fan of like crazy board games with tons of minis. So
cool.
I own a ton of games from like CMON and stuff from Fantasy Flight back in the day, and some of the plaid hat stuff. But so the guys at Steamforged have been just killing it with their miniatures. Yep. Like if you want like cute kind of whimsy animals, there's like the Animal Adventures game,
right?
And it's basically all like dogs and cats as D&D adventurers. And I don't mean like they're dog people. I mean like they have a dog wearing a costume essentially.
All right, yeah, yep.
They're adorable. They are like some of the most cute miniatures I've ever seen.
Yep.
And then there's a whole bunch in that line, and then there's a bunch of cool minis in their God Tier game.
Right.
So God Tier is like, they're either like really big, all swole with like God power, or they're like standard 32 mil guys.
Yep.
But the one that I'm really excited for is Bard Sung. Right. We had it in the shop. Like Ben and I cracked it. We did a video a couple weeks ago about it, and it is super cool. It is absolutely chock full of minis. The game itself is amazing. It plays like a procedurally generated dungeon. So like you place the first tile, and then you put your heroes in there, and then you like draw a tile to place, and you can pick which door you want it to go on. So you can kind of pick which way you go as you work your way through the maze. And then when you place the tile, there are spawn points on the tiles that tell you what guys you went into. And then there's also like a wandering monster mechanic. There's also like a leveling monster mechanic. And your guys level up as you play.
Yep.
The minis are nuts. It has like,
great.
I think there's like 50 something minis in there, including like a giant demon that's like pulling himself up out of the ground. He's got like 4 arms, and he's got like chains, and his wings are ridiculous. There's like 5 heroes, and there's a lot of like really cool like D&D stuff that they can't call by the proper names. So there's like it's called like a metal eater or something. It's a rust monster.
Yeah.
They have like there's a gelatinous cube, which I guess is not copyrighted, and there's a hook horror, which is like one of my favorite models ever. But they gave it a very like Stranger Things vibe. So it has like a head that's opening in 4 ways. It has a big bird beak, and then it has 2 little like beaks inside of its mouth.
Right. Nothing like crazy horror.
Yeah, it's super creepy and gross, but like the models are amazing. A big thing for me personally, and I don't know if you feel this way, like my big thing is everything fits back into the box.
Yep.
Which is huge. Like it all comes with like, I guess part of the original Kickstarter goal was like, oh, if we hit this much, we'll put in like trays. And if we hit this much, we'll put in like modular, like sealable trays. So like all of that comes in the core set. So like you can put everything back together and it all fits back in, which is great to like put it away or storage or whatever. But it also protects all the minis, which is
Yep. Quick question from Scott. Are the God tier minis made of good hard plastic, or are that tier lower, softer, more bendy plastic?
They're definitely more like pliable board game plastic, but they're not like I would compare them to the new or the current iteration of like Zombicide, as opposed to like the original iteration of Zombicide, or like the if you've played with any of the Song of Ice and Fire minis.
Yep.
So they're similar to that. So those are 2 parts, right? So there's like the ABS plastic is the softer one, and then the polystyrene plastic is the harder one.
The hips, yep.
Yeah, so they were really smart like in those. So like if there's a guy with a pike,
yep,
the model is ABS and his hands and the pike are polystyrene, and they glue them together.
Yep.
So
but we're not talking about Song of Ice and Fire though. We're talking about God Tier.
If you've played it,
yeah.
the plastic models themselves are very similar to the God Tier stuff.
Right,
they're comparable.
Yeah.
Like there's no plastic, but it is definitely a good quality piece. Like the big thing I noticed is like none of the bases warp, which is a big one.
Okay.
Like if you buy like Reaper Bones and stuff, like some of the white ones, like the bases will kind of be all bendy. Like it won't really be a flat circle. It'll be kind of like it'll be a little awkward, or like weapons will be kind of bent. They've been pretty smart in their sculpting, so like I haven't seen that. I haven't seen anything like bent or distorted.
Right.
So if it is the board game plastic, it still is better.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, guys, I see what Scott's saying. It is definitely harder to clean them up if you're looking for mold lines. But I will say, like, I don't think they're that bad. Like Ben at the shop has like all of it. He's every single God Tier character that's come out he's bought.
So great for gaming, maybe not for entering into high-end painting competitions.
Yeah.
From the point of view of making sure you've cleaned up the mold lines.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could do it depending. I mean, and they're all sculpted a little different, right? They're all in the molds differently. I think so. Like, I don't scrape mold lines on soft plastic. I just use my X-Acto and I trim them all.
Right.
If you do it that way and it's in like a nice, easy, like if there's a guy like this and it's on the side, you won't have any problem. It's only when they're like really like fiddly and it's all like under their armpits and stuff. That's when that's a nightmare.
Across the hair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's.
But yeah, cool thing.
They are really nice minis though, and there's a lot of variety too. There's a lot of like really cool stuff for like different games. Like we've used some of them in like D&D campaigns we've run, and like a buddy of mine has a game it's almost like Mordheim that he's like developing, so you can like run into like random monsters and stuff. And it's all you can also use them in like Frostgrave and stuff.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Cool thing. Should we? How about we do this? We do Historicon.
Sure.
Stuff that arrived to my place this week.
Sure. Yeah.
And then awesome, cool converted vehicles.
Okay, I like it. Let's do that.
Let's go through that process. Okay, cool. So yeah, as we mentioned earlier, I went to Historicon this weekend. I was covering it for War Games Illustrated. So we have I get to show you some photos. I'm not going to show you a whole bunch because I think I probably took almost 200 photos over the weekend. And how many are going in? Maybe 60 or so will be going into the article. 50 or 60, somewhere in there.
Nice.
So I'm just going to switch us over to that. So first up, you're going to see a photo of a table, but then I'm going to switch to a video of perhaps one of the most insane pieces of pseudo-nostalgia that anybody who was gaming in the late 80s, early 90s might be excited by. So, yep, here we go. Actually, it's going straight into the video. So, this is Battle Masters.
Oh my god, I had this.
You didn't have this.
No, I just had one set. That's like 6 sets.
This is 8 sets. How amazing is that?
Oh my god.
Should we have a quick look at that again?
I mean, you should just pause it right there. That's bananas.
Here we go. The Battle Masters blowout.
That's amazing.
That spot. But yeah, when I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, I gotta quickly walk along this table.
Oh my god, that is just nuts.
Yep.
So I remember I had my mom bought me that, and I was super excited. I think I got it for like my birthday or Christmas or something. And I had gotten into the idea of Warhammer,
Yep.
and I loved Citadel stuff, but it was like harder to come by because there weren't a lot of places that carried it.
Yep.
So I remember I was like, I'm going to make a Bretonnian army. If my mom buys me these, I can paint all the Bretonnians, and I can just use different bases. So I ordered a bunch of bases from web order, it predates that, like mail order, and I was like, I'm going to glue all of the knights onto regular bases, and you can't because they're longer. So you had to because their horses they have their legs out like this. So I had to cut them to stick the guys in so they were hanging off the edge.
Yep.
And again, this is 13-year-old me. So after I did 4 of them, I was like, this sucks. I don't want to do this.
Yep. I never actually got Battlemasters itself, but it looks like Scott Frankish still has his.
Dude, that's amazing. We need to play a game somewhere.
Dan Osborne's here. Hey, Dan. Marshall says, what was the other game after Battlemasters that had the black plastic ogre? I'm not sure, because I'm pretty sure that I think Battlemasters had a plastic ogre.
There was a really cool. He was he technically wasn't black. He was a super dark blue.
Oh, okay.
But it's the old school classic Warhammer ogre where he had the fur hat with the spike and the club with the nail through it.
Right.
I thought he's a Battlemasters guy.
Maybe not. Maybe it was one of the Warhammer Quest, or not Warhammer Quest, Hero Quests. But I didn't buy Battlemasters, but I did buy. So from my local store, which would break up every box set that came in and sell everything individually.
Yeah.
I bought a whole bunch of Empire Archers, Empire Crossbowmen, Halberdiers, and so most of my initial Empire army was from the Battlemasters box set.
Nice. Yeah, the ogre comes in Battlemasters. I'm looking at the back of the box right now, and there was one giant Chaos Ogre.
Right. Yeah.
Dude,
was it the one with the fur hat or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was Milton Bradley, and it was so weird. For a company that was really bad about not letting anybody play with their IPs, Milton Bradley. Because who made Hero Quest?
Milton Bradley.
What's Milton Bradley? All right, so Milton Bradley apparently knew somebody, because the fact that they got to make 2 or 3 games that came with Citadel minis was kind of nuts.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Chris says someone had 2 unopened Battlemasters at Cincinnati Con last year.
Oh,
I think Dan
how
from
much
Game
did they
Table
want for
Adventures bought both of them. Well, you'd have to talk to Dan from Game Table Adventures. He apparently bought both of them.
I'm just curious to see what they went for.
Yeah. But anyway, enough about the Battlemasters, even though it was super cool.
That's so funny, though.
So, Historicon is primarily historical-based gaming. Obviously, Battlemasters not particularly historical, but just the fact that it's nearly, what would it be, 35 years old, 33 years old?
Yeah, it's a historical game.
Yeah. So, what we'll have a look at, we've got a variety of different tables that were at the show, and I'll talk about each one. Some of them, basically, I go and I take photos of some of the coolest looking tables there, and check them all out. So this one was a...
That's what, Flames?
Pardon?
Is that Flames of War?
No, it's not Flames of War. It's 28mm gaming. It's the battle is Ston in 1940. It's when just before the French army fully collapsed. There was an opportunity. They had an opportunity where the Germans had essentially run out of fuel, ran out of supplies. So they had an opportunity for a counter push, and they pushed back in. But I don't know if you can see some of the the hex shapes on the table there. So this used squad leader rules. So the board game / larger strategy game squad leader. They modified the rules to be able to use miniatures with it on this table. So you had all these hex sections. You moved through it. There were different hills or objectives that needed to be taken. Just in the corner, just there, there's a little marking on the table in yellow there. That's an objective point, like you'd have in Squad Leader. So really cool stuff. But yeah, like you can see that the town, the manor, some great French countryside. But everything's done around those hex shapes, which is why you've got that road that runs up to the manor. But the hedges, rather than running straight alongside it, they run around the edges of the hexes. So
that's pretty cool. I literally, I just thought it was Flames of War.
No. There was Flames of War there, but I don't think I took any photos of Flames of War. The next one is the Operation Avalanche, which were the amphibious landings in Salerno in Italy in 1943. Now this table is this game is a 3mm game.
Good God.
So, sorry, Scott Frankie says, thanks for reminding me how what I am, Dave. It's what I'm here to do. But yeah, 3mm gaming. So imagine the pieces are about half the size of a grain of rice.
Oh my God.
So you can't really see the minis on this one, but what it means is that the terrain can be properly scaled. So the mountains that you can see on there are the height of the mountain. So this table is fully sort of topographically accurate at that scale, which is pretty awesome. It was really great to see, and yeah, just something very cool. So it's much more of a strategic overview rather than tactical battle. It's yeah, pretty impressive. I couldn't tell you what rule set they used. Well, I could, but I'd have to spend a bit of time rummaging through the booklet. But
somebody Marshall said he likes that it's on the interlocking like gym floor.
Yeah. Yep. It's people use all sorts of crazy things underneath their tables. It's a funny thing. When I go through and clip the tables out to put them into the article, I always sort of clip them nice and neat along the edge, and I put a little bar of color to make it look like it's the sides of the table are painted and all nice and neat. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And Chris says 3mm properly scaled. I'm going blind thinking about it. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I had to take. What's that?
This is true God mode. Like you are literally floating over the battlefield, being like, "Go forth, my legions!
Exactly.
Take that mountain."
Yep. But this next one's a bit more of a basic one, but I wanted to talk about it because I think it's really cool. So HMGS, the Historical Miniatures Gaming Society, the folks that run Historicon. There have been a few very vocal folks in HMGS over the years. Most recently, John Speece, Jim Stanton, Jared Fishman, who are all about outreach and taking historical wargaming out to people who might be interested in it, or out to kids, out to schools, out to various groups, scout groups, library groups, that kind of thing. They've started a program which is called HMGS Next Gen, and rather than just doing what a lot of people have done in the past, which is run kids events at shows, they've what they did here, for example, this was their jousting event. So they got teachers and like scout masters and that kind of thing to sign up for the event. They showed them how to run a jousting tournament, a couple of minis, the rules, dice, that kind of thing, and then help them create a jousting track there. So they took these green felt sheets painted brown areas at each end and joined them with the lines there, so that the what do you call it? The knights can run up and down, and these folks can now go out to get back to schools, back to their gaming groups or new gaming groups, to library events, that kind of thing, and present a form of miniature wargaming to a whole bunch of people who are either going to look at it and go, or, oh my god, that's the greatest thing ever. So I was really excited by the next gen idea, which is this idea where it's outside the box. It's like, let's not wait for people to come to the event. Let's go to them. And these guys are they're in Connecticut. They've got a grant from the Connecticut state government. I think they've got a grant from the the Hartford area library system. A whole bunch of grants, and what they want to do now is to spread the word and take it as far as possible across the country. So I think it's a super cool idea.
Yeah, anything with outreach, anything trying to like grow our industry and grow the community, more importantly, and bring more people into it so they can experience it.
Yep.
I'm always a fan of that, and anybody that champions that kind of stuff, I'm 100% behind. At first, I thought this was just something that you painted. I was like, wow, his skin tones look great. You did such a good job. He looks so real.
Yep. And that's that little stretch around the bottom of his belly there on the shirt.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, such a cool like depth of color, and like you got the goblin green base that you're going to mount him on behind it and everything. Like, that's great. The
stippling on the wall there.
Yeah, so well done.
Yeah. But no, that's what it was all about. It was all about the next gen thing. But,
no, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So, question: so are they jousting with minis, or is it like kids literally are like standing there with yardsticks trying to knock each other over?
No, with minis. With minis.
Okay.
But the idea is, like, if they want to, they can buy some minis and they can paint them up, or they can get the ones that you can buy in like Michael's or AC Moore. I can now not remember. It's a German company that does all sorts of cool thing, and they do like 54mm knights and what have you.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say they have to be bigger. If you're using that jousting track with a 32mm knight, that's.
Well, you just start them closer.
Yeah, your destrier is gonna pass out before he gets to the other knight.
The horse is gonna go lame. But but definitely cool. Next up is a so this is all one game master. Oh, there we go. Peter says Cheap Plastic Knight Company Incorporated. Yep,
it might be that.
Could be those guys. But this one here is my mind's gone blank. Have Gun Will Travel set up. So the game master Doug Fisher, his buddy Rich is sleeping in the photo there. But this is a Wild West setup, and what Doug's done before is build it all in one big long table. This time he split it up into the 4 tables. So Have Gun Will Travel is a board game based on, I believe, the TV show of the same name. For those who haven't seen the TV show, I haven't seen the TV show, Have Gun Will Travel possibly have most resonance as a song that is sung by the main characters in Stand By Me, as they walk off to see the body of Ray Browers. Anyway, just look at Jake's lack of reaction.
I mean, I believe you.
So, in this one, basically characters have to go around and they've got to find these other characters on the table. So there's a lot of sort of role play element to it. But again, it's a very cool way of doing it. On this side, which you can't see there, is a cliff dwelling, Native American cliff dwelling, like the Pueblo Indians in New Mexico. Off to the right there is a mine workings, and behind that there's actually a cutout of the mine, and he's put like LEDs in there to light it all up, which looks super cool. The middle table, there's a town, and he ran a game where Dakota Indians were laying siege to the town, And then on the other side there is, I think,
I see like a fort.
some mountains and a fort. Yeah. But,
This would be really cool. I mean, this is inspirational for me, like in terms of like the setup, because like on the table on the right, there's clearly like a rail station, like a railway tracks.
Yep.
And then they extend onto the next board. They go along the back edge.
Yeah.
So like a fun thing to do would be like you could have like the train stations be on like different areas. So you could like get on the train. So like you could use this for anything. You could use this for like a linked board system or like a role playing game or something like that. But it's that's an impressive table setup. It really looks good.
Yeah, definitely. And he had a lot of people playing over the weekend, course of the weekend. He ran Have Gun Will Travel several times. He ran the Siege several times. He's working on a buffalo herd. He's going to do a buffalo hunt next year. Buffalo hunt game, which is cool. But Cliff Edder says, way back in 2004, wasn't that long ago, Cliff, Hobbytown here made a 15mm scaled up version of the Avalon Hill Circus Maximus board game. Jackson Board reminds me of that. Yep. It was an awesome setup. Marshall says it's a black and white show. Richard Boone as Paladin, the main character, who Have Gun Will Travel. Have Gun Will Travel reads the card of a man. A knight without armor in a savage land. There we go.
Genuinely do not remember that show.
That's cool. Now you have to go and watch Stand By Me. I'll try and find a clip of that and send it to you.
But you're not even talking about the show. You're talking about like the kids in Stand By Me are singing the song from the show.
Yeah, I'm talking about a 1980s reference, a 1980s film made in the 80s about the 50s, referencing a 50s TV show.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's all connected. Nothing's original anymore.
Cliff says that would be a great setup for Malifaux.
It would be indeed.
Or Wild West Exodus.
Yep. Next up, bam. So this table, I must admit, I didn't take this photos of this table for War Games Illustrated itself. I took them. This was they'd opened up a new area. It was in front of a whole lot of windows. And as we know, as we can see right here, when you have a big window next to you, lighting can be a little bit disrupted. So I took some photos in different settings so I could see what settings I needed to be on if I was taking photos in front of the windows. But this table was set up for a Doctor Who game. Doctor Who miniatures game. I think the one from either the one from Warlord or a homebrew set of rules. But I'm pretty sure this was done by Del Stover. So, Jeff Smith says, I refuse to comment because it will age me horribly. And, Jeff is here. Hey, Jeff. We haven't looked at your tanks yet. They're coming. But we're just looking at Historicon for those folks who are joining us now.
Yes. Scott gets it. Total Recall references are better than Stand By Me references.
Yeah. Well, but we also saw that Jake didn't respond to the Total Recall reference, so eventually there's something that we'll hit, and it'll be like, oh my god, that's amazing. But I'll keep throwing it out there until then. What's that?
At least Scott did, though.
Oh yeah. Well, Scott's
like nobody reacted to the Stand By Me reference. It was all like,
are you saying crickets?
No. All right. So
okay. Anyway,
this is a pretty cool table, though.
It is a cool table. Yeah.
I like the seaport crane, and there's clearly like a boat that's there.
Yeah, it's like a little tramp steamer kind of thing, which is pretty
cool.
neat. But yeah, table looked cool, and I was able to get the right settings for the light, which is pretty good. But next up. Okay, yeah, we've got some more Wild West. How cool does that look? Looks pretty cool.
Wow.
Yep. So you just want to go in and walk around there, right?
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Maybe you can smell the dust. But no, this is Ivor Evans does some very cool tables each year. I think 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, I photographed a table that he'd done for the Chicago Way. So it was like not quite downtown Chicago, but it was near Wrigley Field, and he'd done a fantastic gangster game. But this one is for Dead Man's Hand from Great Escape Games, and the cool thing is the buildings are from foreground.
Yep. I was gonna say they look like foreground stuff.
Yeah, so but he didn't just leave them as like just assemble them and go, oh, done. He went in, put all the signage in. He's got posters on the walls. Gone through and weathered everything to give it that really sort of worn Wild West or Western town kind of look.
Yeah, that's what Cliff said the same thing. The weathering is what sells it. Like,
yep.
He did a lot of hard work weathering this. Right.
Cool. Well, sorry, I'm just gonna jump back to the chat for a second. Scott's right. Frankie said I reacted. You just can't see me. Yes, Scott reacted in your face, Jake.
Cool. Point for Dave.
Yeah. One. I got a lot more. I got a lot of catching up to do, I think. But yep. Jeff says now I want to play Deadlands.
What scale is that? Is that 32 mils?
It's 28. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
The stagecoach is super cool.
It is, isn't it? Yep. Yeah, it's great. Did a beautiful job, and I think I have next up. Let me see. One sec. I'm pretty sure next up is. Yeah, I've got the table, so you get to see the whole table, but you also get to see some blurry people in the background. There we go. In the halls, there's a variety of different types of lighting, so sometimes it's really tough to get good shots, and you've got to mess around with it quite a lot. But yeah, that's the sort of the whole table there. He has a train running through behind there. There's a train station. There's the stables and the horse yards are down near the train tracks. There's a building under construction, a saloon.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the
under construction.
building that's being built. That's pretty cool.
Yep. But yeah, definitely cool. The guy that's standing on the steps of the saloon, that's kind of in the center, facing us there, looks like Al Swearingen, which is a really neat model. But yeah, just fantastic stuff. So.
Josh says he feels young knowing that the median age for Historicon is 62.
Yeah, since we're talking about feeling old, I got it probably about 4 or 5 years ago. So I've done a lot of coverage of Historicon and Fall In and Cold Wars, which are all the HMGS East shows. And about 5 or 6 years ago, I was at one of those shows, and I was looking around and going, "Wow, that's cool." Obviously, we've got a lot of new people here. We've got younger people. We've got people who are kind of my age. And that's when I realized they weren't younger. I was just older. I'd finally aged into the age bracket for Historicon. But yeah, anyway.
Dave, you might want to take a stab at this. We get a question in the chat.
All from Dan. Maybe it's Historicon related or not. But do you all know of any scale modeling hobby classes, conventions, or artists who teach with styles and techniques common to the scale modeling community? I know there are a few. Well, there's quite a lot of YouTube channels that you can check out. Dan, stuff like pigment powders, weathering, more natural looking basing. Cool. John says Outswear Engine reference was great. But one that I would suggest you check out on YouTube is Night Shift. It's a guy called Martin Kovacs. Starts off every video with "My friends." He's a fantastic guy from Eastern Europe, I think. But he does some great things, and he goes through and talks about what he's doing with each of the techniques, which would definitely be good. But off that, you'll probably be able to find a whole bunch of other channels. Look for your local IPMS, which is International Plastic Modelers Society. There are a lot of chapters around the country. So it's probably one not too far from you in Oregon, Dan.
There's also like Cliff brought it up, but there's like Adepticon always has classes. I mean, I can't. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't confirm that they have a specific basing class, but they do a lot of times. PAX Unplugged does sometimes too. Gen Con will. There's also like I'm a bibliophile, so like I know that the guys at Vallejo have a big studio book, and they've done 3 different ones with different artists, and it shows you like how to do like base painting and layering, how to do metallics. One is like using all of like their pigment powders and their like weathering powders and all that stuff. There's tons of that stuff.
Yep. Jeff says there as well. Night Shift. Yeah, that's the one that I just mentioned. Definitely check him out. It's good guides, good videos to watch. Definitely cool. Andy's Hobby HQ does some really good tutorials and technique videos. Says Jeff. So Andy's Hobby HQ on YouTube. I'll have to check that one out as well. But yeah, definitely good stuff. Dan already knows a lot of great weathering and weathering stuff, but I guess he's just looking to take it to the very realistic level, I guess. But Dan is somebody that I'm hoping we'll have on as our first guest in maybe about 2 weeks' time.
Fingers crossed. Wait, 2 weeks time? Yeah, so right after Gen Con?
No, sorry, 3 weeks' time. 3 weeks' time. On the 16th, I think it would be.
Okay.
I need to check up on it. So I'm working on some stuff for I'm working on Dungeon Ball set for Nova Open Charitable Foundation for their summer raffles. Dan has been working on a Warlord Titan. So
nice. Yeah, I saw the he did the metallics, right, with his
Oh yeah. And we talked about the peeling off of the masking.
Yeah.
And other masking bits and pieces. But Scott's out. We'll catch the rest later. See you at the party, Richter. Back to a Total Recall reference. Nice work there, Scott.
You enjoyed the ride.
It's a Johnny Cab, right? But we'll have so hopefully we'll have Dan on in 3 weeks' time to talk about cool big vehicles, working on Titans and doing fun stuff. I guess masking stuff.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Anyway, I think we're almost at the last photo. The bolt action tournament at Historicon was run by the Skibickies, Dave and Kalissa Skibicki. Kalissa was running the tournament. They've built all of the tables for it, and here is a quick taste of one of those absolutely awesome tables. It's a they did a variety of different settings, and this one is a jungle setting. Kalissa organized it so that the Japanese player would play the Marine player first on this table. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. Yep, all the tables were done with like teddy bear fur. Almost all the tables were done with teddy bear fur to get that great grass ground cover texture.
That's awesome.
But this is all of those trees and all of that additional growth is loose on top of the table, because the rest of it's a mat, so we can fold those up afterwards. Yeah, just spectacular. Really, really well done. I took a bunch of photos from this tournament, but Pete, Dan says thanks very much for all the suggestions. Yeah, it does have quite a few publications, but hands-on or talking to people is so much better. This is true.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm a visual learner myself, but
yep. Pete says, "How's the competitive scene for bold action? I hear varying things." Well, as far as more at Historicon, it was a mix. Some people were quite competitive. some people there to get in 3 or 4 games of bolt action in a single weekend. I think it might have just been a one-day tournament, but you're always going to get that variety. My personal feeling on it, because of the potential swinginess, the way the order system works, I don't think, like, if you try to make it very competitive, you're going to be disappointed more often than not. Would be my take on it. So if you don't know, for bolt action, basically for each unit you have in your force, you put an order die into a bag. Your opponent does the same, and then you shake it up, you draw out a die, and if it's yours, Jake, I would hand it to you. You'd determine the order for one of your units, and you put it down. You'd activate that unit, and then we'd draw again.
Yeah, the draw goal mechanic is really cool. And the nice thing about that is they use it for all of their stuff. So like if you play Conflict 47 is like their sort of like
the weird World War
II like add-on.
Yep.
It uses all the same stuff. It really is a good system. Like I think it's one of the most balanced systems in terms of like, it's not, okay, you move all your stuff and I'll sit around for 10 minutes and then I get to go and you get to sit around for 10 minutes. It's a lot more of like a synergistic kind of turn, I think. So
yeah, it's a good system. I don't think it works particularly well for a competitive game, but as a fun game for sure. Yeah, because you could be sitting there and all 6 of your units get activated before any of mine. That could happen. It's unlikely, but it's when those moments happen that you create a much more sort of cinematic thing going on, or you create stronger memories, I think.
Oh, so Pete's asking more about, like, he said he likes the system a lot when he tried it, but he heard that the tournaments tend to be very samey, with everybody essentially bringing variants of the same list.
Okay, that's interesting. I hadn't quite heard of that, but at this one, there were 2 British armies. There was a U.S. Army, there were U.S. Marines, there were Polish Airborne and French Resistance. So there were 6 Allied armies. Then there were 2 German and Italian.
Obviously, at least 1 Japanese.
Yeah, I think there was a Hungarian and the Japanese. I can't remember what the other one was. It might have been a 3rd German.
That's still pretty good variety. I mean, you only had...
Yeah. It was apparently, like, not quite unheard of, but having an even number of Axis and Allied players was pretty surprising. So, yeah, I think it was people excited to come out and play some games. But, yeah, Chris says, who ran this tournament? This was run by Kalissa Skabicki. Her and her husband Dave run a lot of games at Historicon and other HMGS cons. I think they're in the New Jersey area. Yes, it was sponsored by Mythicos Studios. So, but yeah, it does sound pretty good, Pete. Definitely interested. Of course, you can't trust me. I play bolt action in 1/72 scale, so 20mm. You get some really good. There's a lot of really good tanks in 1/72 scale. Great tank kits. But yeah, so that's a very brief look at Historicon. I think there were about 2,400 people at the show. There's big dealer hall, a lot of stuff going on. Very cool. And found a great Himalayan restaurant in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is pretty surprising. So I went there on Saturday night with Nigel Wood.
Oh.
So
I haven't seen Nige in like 2 years. I don't think I've seen him since like Gen Con 2020. Yeah, like Gen Con 2019, I think was the last time I saw him.
Okay, yep. Probably. It's probably that. But I'm just going to switch back to this, back to us here. Hooray! so that I can do a quick rundown of some crazy stuff that arrived to me. So I want to say thank you to a couple of people. First up, I want to say thank you to Caitlin Ditzler. Caitlin Warrington. Using her married name. Kate watches the show. I've known her and Jim for quite a while. But after I mentioned the God Hand clippers, she actually sent me a pair. And now that I have a pair, obviously you can see I haven't opened it yet. It's still got the little holographic seal up the top there. So I haven't needed to assemble anything yet. But when I do, I will open them. I will just do the very most careful of clipping with these. And then slide them into their little protective case. But I don't know if it's going to pick it up.
They are awesome.
You can't quite see how thin those blades are, but oh my god, they're thin. There we go.
The big thing why they're so good is there's only one blade. So it's a flat flush piece and then one blade.
In the on here as well, it says full plastic only, but it's obviously reversed in the camera. But we've got that, and I will also say a big thank you to Josh Potter, who at Historicon, Josh was there running some demo games and doing some playtesting for Sea Dog Games Studio. So Tech Commander is one of the games. I can't remember the name of the ship-based, the naval game. You have to let us know in the chat there, Josh.
There's Victory at Sea.
No, it's a particular one that Josh was running that was made by Sea Dog Games. It's not any of the ones made by some of the other companies. But so Josh gifted me this heavy-duty set. So I won't be retiring these guys, but now I've gone from having one on my desk to having three.
So the red ones are for metal or for cutting pins.
Yeah.
So when you're snipping like paper clips and stuff to make pins, that's for those. The black ones are for resin or anything else, and the blue Godhand ones are just, even Pete, all in cap, Pete wrote only plastic.
Only plastic, yep. So yeah, just for the very finest thing. So I wouldn't cut through this piece of sprue, but I can cut that little spot where it joins to the skull there. But yeah, Josh says Sail Power. Sail Power was the other game that Josh was there demonstrating. Josh, a few months ago, maybe 6 months ago, maybe last year, I don't know, won a miniature that I painted on Painting Happy Little Minis, painting live stream that we used to do for Game Trade Media. And he wanted to pass something on to me to say thank you for that. And he handed me this. Let's see it up close there. So it's
nice.
Some Ralpatha and Ironwind from their Chaos Wars range. It's Troglodyte Cavalry. So Josh painted the models that are in that picture, and this is a print of one of their inserts for the wraparounds for the box that those come in.
Nice.
So they sent him that to say, hey Josh, here's your work on that, and Josh framed it for me and something in. So super cool. Very excited about that. At the show, I picked up Blood and Valor from Firelock Games.
I like how Firelock Games is more like President of Place than like Blood and Valor.
Blood and Valor, yeah. Anyway, Blood and Valor down here.
It's super cool though.
So yeah, I got to hang out with the Firelock Games guys quite a bit. Went out to dinner and a few beers with them on Saturday night. But yeah, this is written by Rufus Devane, one of the guys who helps out Firelock, and his son Kai. But yeah, interested in looking at this. There's a great range of minis available from Phalanx Consortium that are sort of set up to like boxes to be like, here's the starter army for the Australians or the British or the Germans or that kind of thing.
Is it 28 mil?
Yeah. Yep. Full setup. But 28 mil skirmish kind of level. Like 25, 35 models.
Okay.
Kind of thing. So that's pretty neat. And I'll get and show these.
So you build your whole army, and then I basically just take one Maxim machine gun team.
You could you'd have your whole army could also include a machine gun team. Yeah. And you can play on a trench board, or you can play on a town board, or a forest board, or the desert. There's lots of different places that battles in First World War were fought. So, yep. You're not just stuck.
Can I run Wonder Woman in my army?
There's probably a fan mod for it to allow you to do that. But only if you've got Chris Pine as well.
Nice. Yeah.
There we go. So, and Jeff says the Alps. Yep. Play some games in the Alps as well.
Sure.
There are also quite a few battles in northern Italy that nobody knows about. Definitely cool. Jeff says Captain America leads my Conflict 47 army.
Nice. As it should be.
It's super cool. But I think a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about... you went and picked up your limited edition Blood Angel Codex. Yeah. And Scott was talking about it, mentioned it in the chat, and we... in the comments or one of the Facebook posts, something like that. I can't remember exactly when. But it got me thinking about my Primarchs set, the Primarch books that Black Library's been doing. I originally was collecting the limited edition books as they were coming out, and there was one that I missed. I think it was Ferrus Manus, and then shortly after that, the pandemic hit, and keeping track of that all went to hell. So I decided to take a look at, okay, what am I missing? What are the books that are available that I don't have? And since then, I've managed to pick up Alfarius.
Sweet!
And Lionel Johnson. Not so sweet.
Yeah, he's fine.
Well, you've got loyalists and traitors and loyalists and traitors.
Yeah, 100%. Whatever you want.
They're interchangeable, really, in my eyes.
It does seem weird that the Lionel Johnson book is black with red.
Black with red. Oh. Well, it's not going to be black with black, right?
No, but black with green or black with white.
Yeah. But,
pretty cool, though. I do find it hilarious that you have not read any of those. You're just, collecting.
I do like collecting the thing. Oh, we just noticed on the front cover there, there's an Omega symbol.
Pete goes, is the second book also a copy of Alfarius, just in a different dust jacket?
I did check that it was the Lionel Johnson one, but
okay.
It'd be so funny if I just replaced them all with the Alfarius one. That would be great. But so there, I have my little card up here. There are three more that are that have been released that I need to track down, which is Ferrus Manus, Conrad Kurz, and Angron. And then there are three that are yet to be released, which are Dawn, Sanguinius, and Horus.
Let me see.
I'm excited to eventually track those down. Oh. James said it took me long enough to get him to read the Odesh novels. This is true. I'm still working through... I'm close to finishing... I think I'm close to finishing the first one. The Martyr and Mayhem. Magister. Martyr and Magister. Pete says the Juggernaut Khan book was amazing. Yep, I can imagine. It'd be a good one. But have those. And final thing I want to talk about. So the Art of book series that I've been working on. Last year we did Kickstarter for the first 3 volumes. Miniature Monthly, Christoph Kyle, and Anna Polanchuk. They went into retail earlier this year, and in Anna's book we had a section on the reliquary work that she's been doing, so creating miniature reliquaries with taking that whole idea of the relics of saints that you'd find in primarily in Catholic churches or Roman Catholic churches around the world. Maybe not around the world, but certainly across Europe. So as a way of saying thank you for working with her on a book, Anna created a reliquary for me. So
that's pretty slick.
Yeah,
it's a little dark. It's a little dark, but it's pretty slick.
Well, the whole concept of the reliquary is pretty dark, right?
Yeah.
It's like, because you know that none of those pieces, those body pieces that are represented in there, are actually from saints. But yeah, so I think it's super cool. It's got a great Guns of Hecate symbol on there in the wax seal, sealing it shut. But that's Saint Divinus, the patron saint of publishing, according to Anna, and I'm super excited to own this piece. It's very nice. So thank you for indulging me and letting me show that off.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, little humble brag. Dave's like, look at all the cool stuff that I got.
Yep. Beat says, which of your bones did she use for that? I will just say it is from my it's one of my toe bones. What are they called? Metatarsals? Tarsals?
Yep. Yeah, metatarsals.
Metatarsals. There we go. So yeah, super cool. A little bit of it. It is a bit of a humble brag, but I'm excited by it.
Dude, it's all good. I'm looking right now. I'm trying to find the Primarch's books.
Yeah, you won't find them on the. They're tough to find.
Dude, what is going on with Games Workshop not being able to like? I cannot believe that they cannot keep Black Library stuff like printed. Like every time a new book comes out, they're like, "Well, every store can order one," and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Like that's a new thing. It was not like that when we were there.
We were there a long time ago as well, so.
Right, but I mean, it's not like the technology to make books has like expired. How do we do it?
This is true, but as they keep releasing more books, they would try and keep stock of all of them. It would be difficult,
yeah.
But yeah, it's a.
They're gonna have a publishing division, yes.
Yes, I know. But yeah. So some of them, these limited edition ones are limited to 2,500. So, but I am excited for the rest of them and tracking the others down. It's super cool. I think because I've been looking on eBay for some of the others. The guy who was selling the Lionel Johnson book like sent me a message and said, "Hey, I'm willing to knock $60 off." And I was like, "How about you knock another $30 off?" And he was like, "Okay, cool." So I was like, "Yeah, I saved $90." I'm not going to tell you exactly how much I spent on them, but yeah.
Have you asked like Jeff Hall?
See if he has them in the store.
He might have like one of them.
Possibly he might, but I'll check out. I'll be casting around for them, see who's got them. But Kurz and Angron are the two ones I haven't been able to find anywhere. I found a couple of Ferris Manus, but I'm waiting to hear back from somebody in Australia. See if you can send it to my mum, who's coming to visit me, rather than me having to pay international shipping. But we'll see how that goes. But yep. Chris says, "I'll send you the jar of teeth we found on a job site."
Gross.
Going to be funny. Ryan says, "Too many for me to keep up with the dead tree anymore." That's also fair. I think all of my physical, well, I'm going to say all of my physical books are actually on tablet. No, all of my Horus Heresy books that aren't special edition books are on the digital or Audible. I've been listening to the First Heretic while I've been out walking. And just as it drives me crazy as well. It wasn't that way when I worked in trade. But it's a different time. It is. It's many decades later. So, anyway, that's the cool things that I get sent this week. But moving right along, we should move into the cool converted vehicles section of the thing. So one thing I will say, when I was going through downloading the photos from Facebook, is when you're popping photos into the Facebook group, into comments, try and put in the largest version of the photo that you have. We've got a few in here that are going to come up a little bit grainy, particularly if you're watching on a big screen. But we'll see how that goes. Facebook likes to do a lot of compressing of images, so if you can send us the largest ones, it's all good. Okay, so I'm just going to switch over. I think this one. Okay, it'll be coming up for everybody in a second, but it is a Salamander's Contemptor, done by Tim Toolin. So super cool.
Very nice.
Great Thunderhammer and Storm Shield kind of approach there. I'm not sure what you'd run that as. I think maybe just 2 fists. Probably be the way to go. But yeah, I think it's really great, that conversion work, the little icon, the molded icon, the flames and scales.
When I first saw this, like the top left picture, I literally was like, I'm like, oh, he converted a Terminator, and then I was like, oh, that's not a Terminator.
Nope, that is not a Tartarus Terminator. That is a Contemptor Dreadnought.
That's pretty dope.
Yep. But yeah, I think that's super cool. Just quickly, Ryan said that he kept up with the speckled editions of the game books. I think he might have meant special edition, but we'll go with speckled.
Sure.
Speckled sounds great. But yeah, as Phil says there, such an awesome conversion. The detail on the back of the shield blew me away. Yeah, Tim did a great job there. In the group, there is a picture of his 40k Chaplain Dreadnought, sort of boxy Chaplain Dreadnought that he did. I didn't pull it out because it's a little bit grainy when blown up to size. Jeff says, which face page do we upload to the Build Paint Play page? Usually, I think the rhythm that we've had so far is that at the end of the show we've mentioned what we'd like people to post pictures of for the following week, and then I'll do a post at some stage and just stick it in the comments for that. So, good. Next up, let me get the next one ready. Oops. Okay. Next up we've got a couple from Pete Heston. And this first one is a vehicle that he uses as a rhino for his White Scars.
That's awesome. I've seen this in the shop. It's great.
Yep. So it's all. This is from who makes this? Is this? It's not. Yeah, that's okay, Pete. They weren't the worst of the photos that we had this week, but yeah. Who makes these? Who's the folks? Because these are all MDF, aren't they?
Yeah, they're MDF. I don't remember who
makes them, but yeah.
Check.
Yep, the vehicles are MDF there. I think I have some Necromunda display trays from this company. TT Combat. I don't know if it is. It might be. No, there we go, pieces, not TT Combat. But yeah, so this one is using as a Rhino. I'm guessing these are about the same size as a Rhino, Pete? No. And this one here, he's going to be using as a Predator, or is he already using as a Predator? So, very cool there.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea for a legion like the White Scars, where you want that rapid response feel. They look great. Pixels, yeah, the same footprint as a Rhino hull. So they've got that. There's a bit of that Sicaran, is it Sicaran and Kratos kind of feel to it, with the angles for everything, and the where those panels are kind of exposed there. But yeah, cool idea. I like them.
So I'm assuming that.
You're assuming that.
Does it have 8 wheels?
Or
is it going to have 4?
I think it just has 4. He added some resin wheels. Oh, it says he added some resin wheels to make them 8 rads. So they might be. Are they visible under there? We can't quite see it in the shadows. They might be sitting there. Anyway, wheeled always feels. Okay, he added additional wheels under here. Yeah, wheels always feel faster than tracks. So definitely good. Now we're going to move into. The Rhinos are 6, the Predators are 8. There we go. Now we're going to move into a few different conversions from Nathan Herron. And here's some Rhinos that he did up for his Iron Warriors. So these aren't for Horus Heresy, these are for his 40k Iron Warriors. And the extra paneling and the symbols on the front. The front of the Rhino or the front of the Dozer blade there looks super cool.
Yeah, those are great. Standoff armor with plasticard always makes stuff look beefier.
Yeah, yep, definitely. Just switches up that silhouette enough to have it bulked out.
Yeah, Pete says the exact opposite of the White Scars ones.
Yeah, yep, yeah. Those I think that. Dozer blade on the left is converted from the Vindicator.
Yeah,
Dozer
and then the other that's a Lehman Russ blade.
Yep, just giving some extra bulk treatment there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan says, I just realized I should have put up a pic of my pockmarked princess for this. Yes, you should have, Ryan. Next time. Just go and post it in the group, in the Bill Pink Play group. That'll be fine. We'll all get to checking it out. But yeah, so that's the first one we've got there from Nathan. The next one is the one I used on the promo post today about tonight's episode. Super cool, kind of wrecker truck for orcs, and it's got that great what do you call it? Like tow truck kind of feel to it.
Yeah, wrecker. Yeah, it has a great vibe.
Yeah. And just imagine this being a bit like the Harpoon and Plow trucks from Fury Road. But yeah, I love the work that Nathan's done on here. And the
their stuff always looks great when it's like asymmetrical. Yeah. So like he's got like this big smokestacks on the one side, but not on the other side. And then like the turret that's offset. The giant engine block is a great touch.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely super cool. Did a great job. Excellent. And some folks might have seen this posted in the group as well. This is where he's taken a truck and made a patrol boat out of it. It's still a truck, but it's got that great sort of NAM patrol boat kind of feel.
Yeah, it's very PT boat.
Brown water patrol boat there with the little turret up the front with the twin shooters, big shooters. And
the best is the orc with the Marine Recon boonie hat. Like that's
hat, yeah,
awesome.
Yep, definitely cool. And those big the big teeth at the front there.
Oh, so good. You got the little Gretchen on the top on the roof.
Yep.
That thing is great.
Yeah, it definitely looks awesome. He's done a great job on those. And next up, we've got some of Jeff Wilhelm's pieces. So, I think just as why do I hear cellos? Nice little Apocalypse Now reference. Here we go. So some of Jeff's.
No, that's a Jaws reference.
A Jaws reference?
Dun, dun, dun,
Could be I guess. Yeah, I got it wrong. That's fine.
That's great. That's his Death Strike launcher or Manticore?
There's a Manticore, yeah. So I think some of the bits at the front are from a Chimera. There's some other kits or some additional plastic card work that Jeff's done. But,
that thing's awesome.
Yeah, Jeff will be able to let us know what is used there. Yep, Manticore, 8 wheels. Are those resin wheels, Jeff? I expect they are. But yeah, it does look super cool there, doesn't it?
Yeah, this looks like a Russian Cold War era / modern missile carrier.
Missile carrier, yeah, yep, definitely. It looks great. But yeah, just
very Soviet.
The Pisces 8-wheel kit from Blood and Skulls. Oh, there we go.
Nice.
Yeah, Blood and Skulls do some fantastic conversion kits. They've got some great super heavy tracks with little claws on each of the tracks to make it look super vicious. Yep, Scott says that's awesome. It totally is. Well, Pizza Scud Launcher vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does have that kind of, as you said, that Cold War era, late Cold War kind of feel. And some plastic. He's building 3 more APC versions, which will be pretty sweet to see. That'd be great. But next up is the piece that we saw at the start of the show. The extended Lehman Russ.
The land battleship.
Yep, the land ship. Looks great. It's based on, or inspired by some T-35 action. It's, yeah, absolutely awesome. So as well as the forward-facing, I think, like Conqueror cannon in the turret, you've got a small las cannon coming from the rear-facing turret. You've got a hull-mounted heavy bolter and a hull-mounted las cannon to the front.
Yeah, in like the mantlet turret.
Yep. And then in the sponsons, you've got 2. You got a forward-facing and a rear-facing heavy bolter sponson, which I expect is economic.
Pizza's crewed by an entire football team. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. Not wrong at all. And Dave says, "Yeah, it looks like a French super heavy from World War One."
Yeah, it looks like the Char or the BIF.
Yeah, we were looking at. So yeah, definitely very cool there. Yeah, Pete, I think we mentioned that. It was definitely that kind of feel. If you take that, it would have taken that rear-facing turret off, and the sponsons off. It would very much have that Char feel.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Look at all the tank nerds. Everyone's like, it's a Char 2C.
Char 2C.
I love it.
Now everybody should go and check that out afterwards, and check out the awesome French 3-color camouflage scheme.
Oh my god, it's the best.
Yep, definitely super cool. And then our last one from Jeff is one I'm not sure if he started painting yet, but we've got the pre-paint version. He's got plans for a bigger one using 2 Lehman Russ models.
Oh my god.
But yeah, this one's super cool, using the Taurox front and the Death Strike missile rear sort of platform. Again on some great resin wheels. Are those wheels again from Blood and Skulls?
This looks like it's part of a North Korean, military parade.
Yeah, it's got that. So, the communist military, communist missile carrier look for sure. But yeah, definitely cool. That Taurox is a really cool looking kit. As soon as you put tracks on it, wheels on it instead of the tracks.
Yeah, I agree.
But yep. And Pete says I should have posted my APC from that army for this. Yeah, that would have been cool. Definitely good. 6-wheel kit from Zing Industries. I have a feeling that that's what I used for my Torox that I used in the original post, the video. Pretty sure it was that.
I really like. I've seen a couple really easy conversions where somebody just basically swapped the front, the little mini track sections with it's big wheels from something else in the 40K range. I don't know what it is, but so it's basically a half track and it looks awesome.
Yeah,
I think immediately that kit looks better.
It does. It does. It's the front tracks the weird thing.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yep. So, but yeah, I think this looks great, Jeff. Great work. Next up, we have a helicopter, but this was converted by Darren McGregor for Gaslands. So it's taken from a kit, but given a bit of a kind of a sci-fi look to it.
Nice, very good looking.
Popped on that cool desert base for some excellent Gaslands action. I've only seen one Gaslands game that had a. Actually, I haven't seen one that had a helicopter in it, I will admit. I've seen one that had a gyrocopter. It was dropping Molotov cocktails a la Road Warrior, but yeah, definitely really cool there. So just quickly, Jeff says I got an 8x8 ridge hauler to build as a gun truck using the gun from a Basilisk. That'll be cool.
Okay.
Oh, Chris has got to run. Sorry, Chris. Yeah, we're running a little bit late tonight. We're running long. So we talked last week about how we would shorten the show.
Now we can wrap things up. I mean, I don't know. Do we have anything else? Are there any more pictures or?
We have. Yep, there's one more.
Okay.
And hopefully you're still in the chat. So this is Cliff Edders, and Cliff got a hold of this rhino in a this Nurgle rhino in a lot from somewhere, but it was missing the front plate.
Nice.
So he just replaced it with some plasticard and a couple of armor panels there. So there's like the Chaos armor panel, and yeah, it looks just fine, doesn't it?
My favorite is it's missing the farthest spike on the cow catcher.
All right. Yep.
But it's a Nurgle tank, so it looks perfect.
Yep. Absolutely fine. You don't need that.
Great work with the weathering too, Cliff. Like the rust looks fuzzy.
Yep. It does have that texture to it. Looks good. But one last thing, which should be. Oops. Let me see if I can get the right video. A quick video of when I posted that video of my sort of Torox, my pre-ridge hauler.
Okay.
Which I made for my like as a terrain piece for my Tanith guys. I did let's see if this can give me the right video. Why is it not showing anything? There we go. Yep, here we go. So, Chris Layfield was asking about it, and so it's what I did. It's just like the pre-paint version. So I used the same kit for the Torox that Jeff had used for his, as far as the wheels go.
Okay.
Using Industries, and the back of it. Oh, I don't know why it doesn't just keep looping. I have to work out how to make that happen. So the sorry, just check something here. There we go.
That'd be awesome.
What's that? I found out how to make it loop. But so yeah, the
awesome.
back part I had to build a slightly different suspension system underneath that carriage for the what do you call it, for the
suspension.
Yeah, there's a slightly different suspension there. But and I had to use, I didn't have to use, but I ended up using a piece from one of the galvanic servo haulers as like a piece that comes out from the back of the truck, and the trailer sort of sits on that. You can see it underneath.
Yeah.
So
I think it's great. I like how you put all the hydraulic cables and stuff for like the trailer brakes and everything.
Right. Yep. I wouldn't have that kind of feel for it. But yeah, so that's that. I think
that's very reminiscent of like the new kit that they're just releasing, the land train.
The ridge hauler, yeah.
Yeah, oh, so cool.
Yep. So yeah, it is. It does have that very much that feel to it. But yeah, nice. Golden skulls. Okay. Pizza's so cool. Jeff says, I recognize the wheels. Yes. And Ryan says, I really want to use the Taurox as an enforcer's vehicle in the Ash Waste. I think that would be very cool.
I think you'll be able to. The rumor going around is that they're going to release a book that's going to let you do modified vehicles.
I thought it was already in the.
It is, but I think that they're gonna start releasing like more like kits you can kind of like use and kit bash and stuff. So
okay, more.
Because there's not a ton of like ash waste vehicles at the moment. You know what I mean? So
no. But yeah, it's a kits that will go that you'll be able to either build as is, or use to kit bash with other kits.
Yeah,
that'd be neat. That'd be really good.
Yeah, the rumor is that they're gonna do, because like right now you've got like the nomads have like the bug dudes, and then there's like the land train thing, and then you've got the quad bikes that the Orlocks have.
Yep.
And the idea is they're gonna do like each faction at some point is gonna get their own like vehicle upgrade.
Yeah.
But then you can mix and match those to make like your own cut. I mean, you already can make your own custom ones, but it'll be more pieces to play with, kind of thing. So.
Yeah. Yeah, more vehicles would be great.
Yeah,
yeah, I think they had just recently there was the preview, and they showed the mauler for the Goliaths, that crazy, super violent mono wheel thing. Not mono wheel, but just crazy thing. Yep, you can. Cool. Chris says, Cliff says, message retracted. Oh, I missed what he said, but anyway. Right, says, yeah, you can use the G-Steel Occult kits or build your own. But yeah, okay, so I think that's probably it for the show. We've talked a lot about a lot of different things. We could talk forever, of course, but...
Absolutely.
We
gotta save some for next week, though.
Yeah, because we're gonna run out of words by next week. What are we going to look at next week? We're going to ask people to show us cool pictures of. Should we do... Pardon?
I don't know. There's so many good ones.
How about we do a piece of terrain?
Okay.
Yeah. I think that'd be quite neat.
All right,
piece of terrain.
Yeah, I got you.
It could be for anything. Could be for Gaslands. Could be for bolt action. Could be for whatever.
Okay.
Maybe.
Ryan says just cool pics of Nurgle.
Cool pics of Nurgle.
Just like cool pics of Nurgle. Find your best, your favorite Nurgle picture and send it to us.
I didn't want to push my luck just in case I am currently gestating some COVID after the convention. I tested yesterday. Tested negative. So
nice.
I'm hoping that when I test tomorrow, I'll also be negative. Fingers crossed. Cross your fingers for me.
I hope you fail that test, Dave.
Yeah, me too. Wait, fail? I don't know.
Yeah, you want to fail it.
You want to fail it. It works anymore. But no, that'd be super cool. But thank you, everybody. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us tonight. We will, we'll line up some stuff and we'll talk about some terrain next week. It can be pictures of things you've worked on recently, things you worked on in the past, cool photos you found online, and if you find them online, let us know who did them. But, I think there's potential for a lot of great stuff. But yeah, Josh is still unpacking from the convention.
Oh God.
Nice.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We will see you guys next week at 7.
See you next Tuesday.